It may be a coincidence, but the fact the 9/11 anniversary, the continuing indecision about what to do with Syria, and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, that those all fall within a single week, it may be a coincidence, but it's a very powerful one if it is. Ultimately, all of those stories, the stories of how we remember a past trauma, the story about what to do when we seem not to be able to decide about how to deal with an ongoing trauma, and how to seek and grant atonement in the relationships in our own personal lives, they are really all stories of second chances. When and how we decide to give them, when and how we decide not to give them. And even though we typically think it's a simple matter of taking stock of the one to whom we're supposed to offer the second chance, it actually says as much about us as it does about them. Now, I understand, especially in matters of military decision-making, it's not a purely theoretical or philosophical conversation. If someone can come and kill you, it's probably not the right time to be discussing giving them a second chance. On the other hand, the pain that someone or something once did in the past can't always be an excuse for not imagining that the future could be different. In fact, the real issue with giving second chances is not so much when does the other side deserve it, it's when are we ready to grant it. And our willingness to grant second chances, whether it's to communities, to nations, or to individuals, is usually a combination of two things. A sense of security that if in fact we're wrong, we have the necessary means to protect ourselves. And the bravery and the open-heartedness to say that even if we're wrong, we want to grant that second chance, not only for the sake of the other person, but for our own sake, so that our past doesn't continue to imprison us. And then perhaps the hardest work of all is when are we willing to go and ask for a second chance from someone else? When are we willing to go, not in the spirit of, if you only understood me, then you would give me a second chance, but in the spirit of, because I understand how badly I screwed up, I can create a context in which you may be willing to take a second chance on me.